What if I told you I'm not interested in proving my worth anymore? Like, not because I don't think I have it or not that I don't think I'm worthy, but because I'm tired of organizing my entire life around this ideal of being enough. The reality is, I know that I'm worthy. I know that I have value. That's not my issue. It used to be my issue. And yeah, I'm sure there's moments and times where there's doubt behind it, but that's not the issue today. The issue is that I am beyond exhausted of having to constantly keep proving myself to myself and to others and measuring every aspect of my life to the point where I'm like, I'm just done. Like some days I just want to wake up and not have to be enough, be valued, be measured. Not be good enough, not be strong enough, not be worthy enough, right or wrong, but just to be here. No measurements included. And I just want to reject worth and value for a day, more than a day, actually. And I question, am I wrong to want that? And that's what today's podcast episode is about. Welcome to the Hello Well with Danielle podcast, your weekly mental vacation from the daily grind for women who just want a moment to pause, breathe, and woosah. And maybe get a little healing while they're here too. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. So in today's episode, I'm honestly talking about something I never expected to say out loud. I was just literally having a wellness rant in my head, and I decided to say it online on Threads. I was on Threads. I just wrote this Threads. I'm like, wellness rant, and I'm just going to go with it. And here we are. I was just like, I'm tired of thinking my worth. I said, some days I just don't care if I or others find me of value. I simply want to experience life without attaching worth to it. And then I said, there, I said it. Because it was one of those moments like, oh my God, people are going to tear me apart for saying this. But it's what I was feeling. Like, I just am at the space where, like, ugh, I'm tired of this whole conversation about worth. And again, I repeat, it's not because I don't believe I'm worthy. I do. But I'm starting to wonder if we're built to live our entire lives around continuously trying to prove ourselves, continuously try to add value to everything that we do. If we're so busy adding value to what we do, when are we really living? I even had someone respond to my post on Threads, and I appreciated her for making a comment. She's like, you're of value just because you exist. And I love being seen, and I do appreciate the affirmation, but I had to reiterate that it wasn't that I didn't feel valued. It was that I feel like this need to prove and show and talk about someone's value or measurement of everything is so deeply ingrained in our culture. I mean, it's wild how deep the stuff runs. Even in the wellness world, where we're supposed to be soft and mindful and self loving, there's this constant loop of you are enough, you're worthy. I feel like when we start getting into these spaces of healing, we're taught that we're supposed to say over and over to ourselves and ingrain it in ourselves that you're worthy, you're enough. You're supposed to put it on the mirror. You're supposed to have sticky notes on your computer. It is so beat into you that the way to measure how well your healing is going is how well you feel of worthy. And yeah, I get it. Those words matter. They help people. But sometimes they feel so automatic and so rehearsed that they start to lose any felt sense in the body. Like, I can tell you, me personally, that I often used to find myself in my meditations that I would do, or some of the things, even beginning episodes of the podcast, I would end with telling people you're worthy. It just starts to feel kind of scripted, like another affirmation to remember, another performance of healing. It felt very performative, if I'm being honest, and with myself and with others. I feel like it's just part of, it's like you say good morning to someone. It's like you're saying, "Yo, hey, how's it going? You're worthy." It just doesn't have that same feel to it. And on the flip side of it, when we're in a space when we are struggling with our own worth and we just keep saying it over and over, it just doesn't, it just feels like a weight. It feels like a weight in so many different ways that I just wish we didn't have it. Like, I kind of wish I had a cute pair of red shoes, because let's be real, those little glittery ones aren't so cute, but little red shoes that I can click and I can just erase this ideal of measuring our lives and just be. Because why does everything we do have to have some value to it? Was I productive enough? Was I soft enough? All of us are living in this, trying to be in the soft girl era. So we're asking ourselves and we're evaluating, was I soft enough today? Or was I strong enough today? Was I spiritual enough today? Tying it to our culture, was I black enough today? Or, was I good enough as a caregiver? Or was I good enough as a plant mom, or someone who lives in, an apartment building? Like, was I a good enough resident where I wasn't making too much noise? Or even in a yoga class, we think about, was I breathing properly? Was I meditating enough? Or as a teacher, was I inviting enough information so my students got a certain healing? We're constantly measuring everything that we do. It just feels exhausting. Like the constant calculating, the invisible grading, the weight of being enough, of being of value all the time. Everything that we do is a lot. And I think it's a silent weight that most of us aren't paying attention to. And here's the kicker on all of this. Even when I say I want to ditch this whole thing about this worth and this value narrative, I'm catching myself measuring. I'm like recording this podcast and think, well, is this going to be helpful enough? Or I'm trying to catch myself and measuring, not measuring. And it's a hard job. Like, as I'm trying to be more in a space of curiosity, being more present and more aware, and just being versus evaluating and adding worth to something, I am struggling. So I know this isn't, it's so deeply ingrained in how we're taught to live that I'm struggling, even in this conversation, not to judge, not to evaluate. So this isn't me saying I have it figured out. This is me saying I hella don't have it figured out. But it is me naming the contradiction. It's me wanting to live a life without the constant loop of worth. But I recognize I'm still in the loop, y'all. I'm still trying to prove I'm not trying to prove anything. And that's how deep it literally goes. So maybe this isn't a declaration. Maybe this is just a desire to stop organizing my life around value. Not because I don't believe I'm worthy, because I've said it several times in this episode. Yes, I know I am worthy. But because I want to move differently. I have this deep desire to move from a place of curiosity, a place where I stop obsessing value to every breath, every movement, every post, every choice. I want to live a life unmeasured, unscored, ungraded, unproven. Even if I don't get it right, there is no right or wrong because there's no grade. It's a pass. Everyone passes. And again, pass or fail. There's no pass or fail. There's no grade. There's no right or wrong. I want to live in a life where it feels free. I guess that's what I'm desiring, is this freedom. Freedom from having the evaluation. And maybe that's enough. I think that's enough. That's where I'd like to be. This week, if you're open to it, I'd like to see and give you an invitation to see what happens when you try not to attach worth to everything. Maybe just 10% of what you do, try to not attach worth, and see how it works for you. How does it feel? And just let it be a space of exploration. And if you do it, let me know. I'm curious. Just hit me up and let's have a conversation about it, because this whole value thing it's a lot, and I'm ready to ditch it because I'm looking for some freedom. And on that note, I will see you guys next week. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.